This special Extrarunde with your hosts Ron and Hendrik.
We are back, Hendrik, with another special episode, this time again in English. And with us today is Johannes Thingnes Boe.
Yes, hello.
And Hendrik, I'd say that there's no doubt that Johannes is the greatest biathlete who's still active in the game. I mean, it's insane what he has won until today.
Absolutely. Just look at his achievements. 5-time Olympic champion, 12 times world champion, and he is a 3-time Big Crystal Globe winner. Just crazy.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. And we gotta say, there are many more years to come for him, so still some time to improve. I think there was an interview where he said that he'll go on until Selva 2026. And yeah, he's not giving so much interviews in his free time, so we digged a little bit deeper this time. Want to get to know his mind a little bit more, the mind of an extraordinary athlete with a lot of successes. So the question is, what is the next goal for an athlete, Hendrik, who has won everything there is in biathlon? Because as an athlete, you need a goal to be motivated in training, to be motivated in the races. And for sure, the last season with the Olympics was great for him, but Johannes didn't win the 4th Crystal Globe in a row. So how was it for him to give the globe to someone else?
Yeah, Ron, that's a good question. And we started with his World Cup debut in 2013. And it's just crazy how early he took his first wins and how dominant he was in those races with just 20 years of age.
Yeah, and still he's just 29, so... Hendrik, I'd say let's jump right in and listen to what Johannes thinks about his career, his rivalry with Martin Fourcade, and what's next for him in biathlon.
Yes, sounds good, Ron. But guys and girls, if you like this episode, then give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you are listening to this.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's welcome Johannes Thingnes Boe. Applause. Welcome. Thanks for coming, Johannes.
Hello.
Thanks. What a welcome. This sound effect, it took me by surprise. So a good start.
Sound effect. That's our audience, man.
Yeah.
Don't take away that illusion. But okay, Johannes, we want to strive a little bit through your biathlon career and start with your early beginnings. You came into the World Cup in early 2013 and you already won your first race in December in Annecy-le-Grand-Bornand. The sprint and also the pursuit next day, and that at the age of 20. Can you tell us a little bit about how you experienced those 2 days in 2013?
Yeah, I can remember that I had a good start in Östersund. It was an Olympic season, so every result mattered. I was only taken in the Norwegian squad for the Östersund, and then I had to leave home in Hochfilzen. But I had an 8th place, I think, from Östersund, so I get a ticket to France. And I also remember that Emil, Tarjei and Ole, they were not in France to race. So I thought that I will be 3 places higher on the result list. So I just started hard like always. And I remember this day because I think, I'm not sure, but I think I had the best course time on each lap. For 3 laps in a row and shooting clean on the sprint and winning by such a big margin. That was, quite fantastic.
Yeah, that was, I think, the first time where you destroyed the field and you won, easily. I don't know. I think it's never easy. But as you said, it was your first Olympic season in Sochi 2 months later. Did you already think of the medals there after your 2 wins in Annecy?
No, not too much. But I had shown that everything is possible. So if I came to the Olympics and did the same race as I did in France, then I would definitely hit the podium, I think. But I did also see many bad results. I was not so regular up in the front. So the main focus as a Norwegian biathlete is to reach the team and to be in the relay team, because then you have a great chance to reach the medal. So this was the only focus I had coming into the Olympic Games. And I reached it. I didn't reach a medal goal, but I didn't destroy for the men's team in the relay. So I was just very happy after this race. I was so nervous.
Can you imagine that? But Johannes, just 1 season later, you also won your first World Championship gold in the sprint of Kontiolahti in 2015. And that was not even 2 years after your first victory. At that time, could you imagine climbing to the top of the world in biathlon so early?
Yes, I think I believed in that already before I came into the World Cup. I came into the Norwegian team in 2012, and I was in quite good shape before that season. But I trained too hard, and I had to pay for that. So one season I was out. So when things started to work again, for sure I thought that I would be one of the best someday, and hopefully quite early. And my brother had shown it before, so I tried to reach all results at least 1 year ahead. So I knew I had a not so good time.
Yeah. But I think all of the athletes in Norway think like you to be the best one day.
Yeah, it's something you say. Either if you believe it or not, it's just part of the game. So for me, it was for sure coming in. I had for sure big respect for the other team members, but I said earlier I wanted to be the best, and coming into the World Championships, it's not every day you win on your first try. On my first World Championship race, so many people told me that you can win World Cup race, but to win in championships is something else. And Olaina didn't do it before he was 28, 29.
Oh,
so that made me like a little bit relaxed to take the years and yeah. But I get it on the first try, and it was a good feeling.
Yeah. Let's make a little jump into the season 2017-18. That was the big battle against Martin Fourcade, where you started super strong into the season in December. And I think it was a new situation for you at that time. So how has it been for you to be the big new rival of Martin?
Yeah, I think from the year 2015 and in 16 as well, we started our level to come closer and closer. He was still by far number one, but I noticed to myself that I was getting a little bit closer and closer, and winning the yellow bib was at that moment a big goal for me, and that's what I trained for. And in the 17-18 season, it was a great fight. We were both winning every race until the Olympic Games, I think.
Yes. Your brother won one sprint in Östersund, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. So close to. But that was the season the rivalry really started. And it was crazy because every race had a new winner. We were fighting so much. So it's like a hard mental game. And I think that's the reason why he won, because he had won it so many times before. So I didn't have the same mental pace and strongness that he had. So after the Olympic Games, I was still had a chance, but I felt he was a little bit stronger. But in Kontiolahti, he was sick at one race. He should have started 1 minute before me, and suddenly he was not there.
Yeah.
And then I thought now I had the chance, but in the end he was the winner by a clear margin. But I get a taste of it, and that's what I needed for the next season.
Yeah, where you took the overall for the first time. But 2 seasons ago, Martin retired, so he was not there anymore, and all eyes were on you now. So the number one contender for the overall World Cup. Was it different to start into that winter without him?
Yeah, it was a big change. He was our only, I can say because we are so many strong Norwegians, and he has been fighting with all of us. So I think he looks Team Norway as his rival, not only me, but from Olaina and Emil and Tarjei and myself. So he has been challenging us a lot. And when he was not there, it was something about the biathlon was missing. I felt the energy before the races were lower. I was less nervous. There was no rivals that I really wanted to beat. So there was no leading star that you could try to catch. And I was that star for the rest of the field. So I remember that I missed the great rival. There was a lot of good athletes, but I think I can say that I will never have a rival as I had with Martin. It was great when you won, and it was so painful when he did win. So these years I look back at it, and I miss it.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back one day, but I think it's too late.
I think he will do great racing, so he's welcome.
Yeah. But one of your toughest seasons was maybe the season 2021, where you won your 3rd Crystal Globe in a row against Euler with that last mustard race. And Your stats in that season were nearly the same as in your record-breaking season 18-19, where you captured 16 victories in a season. But there, you only got 4 victories. So what was different in that year in comparison to 18-19?
I think in 18-19, I was, first of all, winning the sprints with a 9 or 10. If I missed one, I was still in front of the others who shot 10. So then I got a lot of victories during these sprints. And I didn't have that pace in me for that season. And the shooting as well was a lower percentage. I was not so consistent on the range.
That's nearly the same in shooting.
For shooting?
Yeah.
No, it cannot be.
I think so, yes. I think you had 85.6 and 85.2. So it's nearly the same in total.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but then I guess I missed on the right times
yeah,
in the historic season. But yeah, I think the level was higher as well, and it can be so many things. It also depends when you do a bad race, how many will be in between you and the guy you're fighting for. Sometimes one miss can only be one place. Another race, one miss can be 10 places. Mm-hmm. So it's all about the points and where you're heading. And this is not easy to predict. So you must just race all as you can. But yeah, the flow I had in 18-19, I miss it. It was, it felt easy, and it would be great to feel it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe next season.
Maybe, I cross my fingers.
Yeah, and Johannes, Ron just talked about your 3rd World Cup title. Which of your 3 titles is the most special for you?
The first one, of course, is the most special one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, first of all, because I managed to do it for the first time. It was an historic season. I also won gold in Östersund at the World Champs. So it had everything, 16 victories and winning 3 out of 3 the last weekend in Holmenkollen. It was just a dream season. But the big fight also after coming back from... after Christmas in the 1920 season when Martin won 4 races while I was away. And then I came back to Pokljuka and did shoot 20 targets there, winning right in front of Martin. And then I slowly built up points by points and finally winning by only 2 points in the final race. So this season was also quite special. And it was also a good goodbye to Martin, because he won his final race and I won the overall score. So it was great. And I think if I would have been skiing all the races, then for sure I would have had more points. So I look back to those 2 seasons as the best ones. The final season against Sturla was a little bit different, because then it was more challenging by myself and my shooting. I was struggling a lot the last part of the season. So after he was winning in the World Championship and he was just so efficient, fast, and shooting clean every time, it was not easy to start the race when you felt that you will probably shoot 1 or 2 miss in prone. And so it was hard these times. But I think my mental game is quite strong, because I've been winning 2 World Cup overall victories in the final race. And that's also what I like about these 2 last victories, that it was not 50-50 in the final race, but the first one almost to cross the finish line would win it. And I managed to win both these challenges. So I like that.
Good that you talk about the mental game, or your mental game, because let's have a look at your big events before the Olympics in Beijing. Because I think you always look like a pretty chilled and relaxed guy and nothing can throw you out of your tracks. But I also got the impression that you are showing some nerve at the big events, like in crucial situations where you performed a little bit different than in the races before in those seasons. When you look at Pyeongchang 18 or Östersund 19, where you, of course, won a gold medal, but you are not as dominant as before. Am I right here? And maybe you aren't so relaxed in those moments?
I don't think... I think it's more about the conditions. That with the wind, strong wind, I'm maybe not the best shooter in the wind. And by these championships or Olympic Games, it was quite a struggle. And this in Östersund, I was leading the pursuit by a lot, and the mass start as well. So this could have been like a very strong championship. And in the Olympic Games, that's something else, because then you are fighting for the medals and medals only. No World Cup points, nothing special. So that's hard to reach the medal, to win gold in the Olympic Games. I feel it's hard, and you just have to win the lottery that day. Depends on so many things. You can be the best one, but we saw in sprint in Pyeongchang that me and Martin had won everything, but we were far away, both of us. And that's the beauty of the sport.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then let's talk about the last season, the Olympic season. And your team and you had a tough start at the beginning of the World Cup. You weren't in your best skiing shape, what was very unusual for you. Were you afraid that you might not get in shape for Beijing?
No, I was never afraid about Beijing because it was so long. But when you start the season, I started by being sick 1 week during the national openings. So I need race practice. I'm the guy who gets in shape the day before the World Cup starts. So I'm in not good shape until then. I need that November works fine, but it didn't last year. So I went into the season with not the best body. I didn't feel so light on the skis. And then when you start the World Cup season, it's a race all the time. So you don't have the chance to make up for the wrong things. You have to prepare for the next, and hopefully it will let loose. But it didn't. Even though I won one race before Christmas, I didn't feel like myself. So I put down a very good job during Christmas. I trained a lot, hopefully to be myself again in Oberhof. But then I came there and it was even worse. So that's when I decided to stay home for the next period. And it was the right thing to do. Yeah. So from Oberhof to the Olympic Games, it was quite long. And I remember the moment it turned, it was when I arrived at Antholz. And I grabbed my bag and I walked up the stairs and I didn't feel nothing. So then I knew my legs were strong again. Just by taking the stairs, I felt it. And then I knew that I had a good period now, almost 1 month with altitude. So from there, I was quite secure.
Okay. Yeah, the rest is history. You won 4 gold medals and you are the most successful athlete of the Games 2022. But after the Olympics, you ended your season early and you didn't grab that 4th Crystal Globe in a row. So, Johannes, what was your feeling of not being that number 1 anymore after such a long time?
I feel that's all right. I've always felt like if you deserve it, you deserve it. And if you're not good enough, you don't deserve it. And I felt that this season I was not in the position to win after the Olympic Games. So for the last 4 years, it's been tough to fight for the globe. I'm really impressed by Martin winning 7 in a row. But even though he said it, that the fight brings him down as well, the time I won it. So it was the right time to take a break after many years, and also combined with the COVID and the preparation for the Olympic Games, we were really afraid to not be able to travel to China because with a positive test, you had to be home. And if that was the case for me, then this season would have been really bad. So I am so happy that I made it through the Olympic Games to become the most successful one. And to be the most successful athlete in the Olympic Games across all sports is something to carry on with. And that's why I look back to the season like a great season. It's something I will remember, even though it was maybe my worst. So it will have one of the strongest memories.
Okay. So, Johannes, now you've won everything there is in biathlon. And I think it's crucial to have a goal as an athlete that keeps you motivated or even keeps you doing your sport. And so what is it that lets you continue to be a biathlete?
I think, first of all, is the reason when you don't have something else that you want to do. And training season I don't like that at all. So you're really looking forward to winter season to compete. And for every year that I go now, I feel more happy to race and that I'm having a good time on the World Cup, especially on the relays. I love the relays. It's so fun. It's a race that fits me very well. I like this format, bringing teams together and fight. We have had a lot of good fights with France, especially. So this relays is like key moments during season where you can relax a little bit, and the individual races are more hard to prepare for. So sometimes it's good to have a weekend with a men's relay or mixed relay or something. Then you can play and have fun, and we have a strong team. So before the race, if things goes as normal, then you will hit the podium and probably a win.
Yeah, and then Johannes, let's have a look at the upcoming season. What are your main goals next winter?
To be world number one, to win the overall globe. That's the only goal I have. And like every year, it's the same. It was the same last year. Mm-hmm. It will be the same goal for the next 3 years after. So this doesn't change. I like to race a lot of races. I hope I can be in a good shape. Just be the guy I can be. Then I know everything will be fine. So I just hope shooting works, then skiing works, and just have a good time.
Okay. And what do you think will be your biggest contenders for that?
For the yellow bib?
Yes.
It's hard to say. I don't know. It's many, but I don't think there is I don't think no one is a clear favorite this year. So we'll have to see during the different openings all around Europe who shows good shooting, who skis fast, and I can get you the answer after the first 2 races in Östersund. I can give you 2 or 3 names who will be fighting for it.
Okay. So looking at your longer plan, are you also planning to break some records or something like that?
No, I think as an athlete, you always likes to break records. But I don't think it's so many people, or it's not for me, who think so much about it. But I was very proud to reach the most win during a season. That did be a goal during the season. People started to talk about it, and I like to talk about winning most victories during a season. But looking at the records now, it's quite a good gap until Martin and Ole Einar. So it's like to just add on some good results to the list. And it will. I have a goal, and it would be so nice to see a 90% shooting during season. Okay. I don't think I will make it, but
you had it. You had it in what was it? 1920. You had it.
Mm-hmm. I had it.
Yes, I think you had 19.5. Yeah. Let me see. It's 92.1.
Yeah.
I had it.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that was a crazy season. You didn't miss a lot.
But then I've reached that as well. So,
yes, so
nothing more for me to reach.
You can stop now.
I can quit.
Yeah. Job done. Yeah, Johannes, we have one final question for you today. Imagine you had a big billboard in a big city. Everyone can read it. Which message would you write on that billboard? And it shouldn't be a commercial.
It should not be a commercial.
Yeah.
America, are you ready? Biathlon is coming to New York in December 2023.
Yeah, we'll watch out for that.
It will be great with the city race. In Central Park.
Yeah.
It will be great.
I think your brother said something like that you two always competed, but in the end, the big brother won or something like that.
Yeah, that's right, except in biathlon.
Yeah, perfect. I think that is perfect to conclude this episode, Johannes. But before you leave, tell our audience where they can find you if they want to see or know more about you.
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram, Johannes Boe, and on my Facebook page. It's almost the same updates during winter season. And just follow, write me what you want to see, what you want me to show more of. Yeah, hopefully I can... I have those pages for my fans and not for myself. So give feedback and I'll listen to it.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it a lot because I think you're not doing that very often. And Johannes, wish you the best and see you soon.
Thanks a lot. Good talks.
Yeah, Thank you. Bye.
Hendrik, I think that was a super insightful talk, at least in my eyes. And I think it's just crazy how open Johannes was and also how high Johannes' expectations of himself are. I think that's just another level in professional biathlon.
Yeah, it was super cool to talk to him. Hope there will be a next chance because we got so many more questions.
Yeah, I hope so too. So next up for him is the World Cup that starts on Tuesday. And it would be cool to know what you listeners think after this episode with Johannes. Will Johannes claim his fourth Crystal Globe this winter? I think he has a little reparation to do for the last season, Henrik. But yeah, let us know in the comments of this post on Instagram.
Yeah, and as I said before, if you liked this episode, then give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you're listening to this.
Exactly, and all of the links where you can find Johannes and us, the Extrarunde, can be found in the show notes. We are out for this time and talk to you next time.
Yeah, maybe next Friday.
Maybe next Friday.
Bye.
Keep an eye open and ciao.